The spotlight burned my eyes as my name cracked across the arena like a whip. I crossed that stage praying for one familiar face in the VIP row. 10 seats reserved under our family name. 10 ghosts. No cheers, no camera flashes, just the hollow echo of strangers roaring for their own. I swallowed a laugh that tasted like rust and kept moving. They call me Lena Harper now, but for years I was the invisible hinge in a house that swung only for my siblings. Marcus, the golden son, could crash a car and still get the keys back by morning. Sophia, the baby, cried once and the world rewrote its rules to dry her tears. Me? I learned to fold myself into the corner so the frame wouldn't creak. It started small. At 12, I spent 3 nights gluing a diorama of the solar system. Sophia forgot hers on the bus. Mom's panic was a living thing. I slid my project across the table without a word. Sophia got the blue ribbon. Mom ruffled my hair and said, "Lena always lands on her feet." As if I'd done it for fun. At 16 I waitressed double shifts, hiding tips in a coffee tin labeled architecture books. Dad found the tin, needed it for Marcus's traffic tickets. "You're the reliable one," he said, already counting. I smiled because teeth are cheaper than arguments. Birthdays were a script. I baked Mom's favorite lemon sponge, candied zest curling like tiny suns. Sophia arrived late with grocery store cupcakes. Mom kissed frosting off her cheek and cooed, "You're so thoughtful." I held the cake knife like a foreign object. The night that soldered the break happened in a freezing attic apartment. Snow hissed against the skylight. I hunched over blueprints for a condemned triplex, phone glowing with overdue notices. I called Dad for 5 minutes of guidance. "Construction's a man's game, Lena. Pick something softer." Click. I stared at the dead screen, then at my battered leather satchel, zipper busted from overuse. I threaded a needle by flashlight and stitched the tear shut, each tug a vow. "This bag will outlast all of you." Graduation came. The dean's voice boomed. I scanned the reserved block. Empty. They'd RSVP'd yes, then chosen Sophia's recital rehearsal instead. I walked the stage alone, diploma rolled tight as a baton. 7 months later my name lit up the business journals. Harper's $4.8 million loft conversion shatters downtown records. My inbox flooded. Investors, reporters, old classmates. My family stayed radio silent until Dad's text at 4:17 p.m. Dinner. 7 sharp. Big news. Don't disappoint us. I arrived at 6:58 in a charcoal suit, no coat despite the rain. The house smelled of rosemary and entitlement. Inside, Marcus nursed a whiskey. Sophia scrolled her phone. Dad paced. Aunt Vivian, Dad's silent partner, sat like a tax attorney at a deposition. Mom wrung a napkin into knots. Dad skipped pleasantries. "We're acquiring the riverfront lots. Prime mixed use. We need your capital to close. You fund, we brand it Harper Legacy. Win-win." Sophia smirked. "Think of the exposure, Lena. You're still green." Marcus raised his glass. "Family teaches family. That's the deal." Mom touched my wrist. "Be part of something that lasts, honey." Their voices layered like cheap paint. I set my satchel on the table, thud. The room hushed. "I brought my own big news," I said, voice low, lethal. I unbuckled the flap. A single folder slid out, embossed with the city seal. Vivian's eyes narrowed first. Dad barked, "Lena, we're busy." I flipped the folder open. Riverfront acquisition papers, inked that morning. My signature bold beneath the notary stamp. Their anchor parcel gone. Sophia's glass slipped, red wine bleeding across the linen. Marcus froze mid-sip. Dad's face went the color of old concrete. Vivian whispered, "You outbid us?" "By 3 million, I said. Clean, quiet, final. Dad found his voice ragged. "You knew this was ours." I knew the city wanted density. I moved faster. I tapped the page. "Without this parcel, your lots are just mud and permits." Mom's plea cracked. "We're blood." "Blood shows up," I answered. "You missed my graduation for a rehearsal. You missed my life for headlines." Silence ballooned, thick as the gravy cooling untouched. I closed the folder, buckle clicking like a judge's gavel. "Dinner's yours," I said. "The future's mine." I walked out. No one followed. Rain needled my skin, but the cold felt honest. In the car I let the engine idle, watching the dining room window. Shadows argued, collapsed, went still. My phone buzzed. Mom. We were wrong. Come back. I powered it off. The drive downtown blurred past landmarks that used to sting. The corner where Marcus left me waiting in sleet. The bridge I walked after Dad said dreams were for people with trust funds. Now they looked like mile markers on a road I'd already outrun. My loft tower rose glass and steel, lights winking like it knew I was coming. 32 floors up. The door shut behind me with a whisper. I set the satchel on the quartz island. The hand-stitched repair caught the pendant light. A crooked scar turned badge. I poured 2 fingers of the good scotch. Raised it to the skyline. The city glittered, unbothered, infinite. For the first time I didn't brace for the next slight. I simply existed in space I'd paid for with my own sweat. Silence isn't the wound. It's the scalpel. And tonight I finally cut clean. If you've ever built a life from the scraps others threw away, raise a glass from wherever you're reading this. Some empires start the second we stop saving seats for ghosts.